Hello Australia, welcome to another episode of The Couch, episode 744. Only on Foxtel, but we can't say that very much because C31 are joining us in Melbourne. So thank you to all our viewers in Melbourne. Yes, we welcome you to The Couch. It's been a long time since you've seen The Couch directly through C31, and we welcome you today. Thank you very much. Let me tell you what's on the show today. Lauren Marsden is in. She's singing two songs, one by Lady Gaga and one by Alicia Keys. Stay tuned for that one. Talking movies with Paul Elwin. He's got 7 great movies to talk about. We've got a WA author. Her name is Charlotte Kemp. She's got a brand new children's book. It's called Mummy Will Be Okay. It's tackling mental health. So stay tuned for that one. Rebecca Tolstoy is the founder of Path of Hope. We'll be talking to her today. It's a great charity. Alison Zamon, the General Manager of Centre for Asylum Seekers, Refugees and Detainees, comes in to tell us what they do in this great charity as well. Nat Foster is half of the breakfast crew at 6IX, the classic breakfast. We'll talk to her about her brand new breakfast show. And it's been a while, but Armanda de Luz is back. I've got to pronounce it right. Armanda de Luz. She's got a brand new cafe in Northbridge. We find out why her tarts are the best. It's a big couch. Hope you can stick around for the next hour. All over Australia. Starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. Hey, it's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh, oh.
Hello Australia, welcome to another episode of The Couch. Hope you can stick around. Welcome to all the crew, and I hope you had a good week. Let's get straight into the show today. We've got 7 brand new movies to talk about, and the man that knows all about these new movies is our very own Paul Elwin, and he joins us in the studio.
Fred.
Welcome back.
Oh, there's so many cool movies. We've got 7 great ones here. Bit of variety as well. The first couple that we've got are out right now. They're both crime comedies of a sort. The first one we got is called The Innocent, but it's a French movie, and it's also known as L'Innocent. Yeah, interesting. This is a crime comedy. Basically, the main character, it's played by this famous French actor who also directs as well, multi-talented, Louis Garrel. He plays a guy who his mum is doing some correspondence with, and falls in love with a guy in jail, and then the guy gets out of jail. The mum does, and he's going, okay, what's this going to involve in my life? And then he comes out of jail, and it's their sort of interaction. And of course, coming out of jail, he has a heist in mind. And of course, he's going to get the family involved in that. So
Good movie.
Yeah, it's French, so get ready to read the subtitles, but it's quite clever. It's quite good. It's called The Innocent's out now.
Now, the next movie,
The next one, from France, we go to Italy.
Bravo, benvenuto. Mafia
She hasn't done comedy for a while, but Toni Collette still has the comedic talent. Years and years ago, Muriel, that was when she first cut her teeth. Toni Collette plays a mum who essentially inherits the mob, the mafia, from her granddad. But of course, we need someone to help her sort of do this job. And we have Italian acting royalty, Monica Bellucci, in this as well. And oh my God, she's quite cool. She becomes the mob mum.
She takes over. Her
the
grandfather
mafia
dies
leader.
and hands it all over. And I tell you what, I actually watched the opening night, and I thought, will it be funny? It sort of has a lot of humour in it, but in a serious mafia sort of way.
Yeah.
So Toni Collette basically doesn't want to be the mafia boss, but ends up. There's a great twist in it. It's a great storyline, and she suits the role. So I think people are going to love it, and it's out right now.
Yes, Mafia Mama.
Now, Beau is Afraid.
Beau is Afraid. This is from A24 Studios, who are famous for a lot of very offbeat, strangeness all up. Horror, a few weird comedies, that sort of thing. So from A24 on the 20th of April is Beau is Afraid. Joaquin Phoenix plays Joaquin Phoenix. Well, he plays Beau. He plays Beau in several sort of instances in his life at different stages. But also, they found this young kid, Armin Nahapeshian, who looks...
Say it again.
Armin Nahapeshian.
Okay.
I'm saying it completely wrong.
What a lovely
They found
name.
this young actor.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like Joaquin Phoenix as a kid.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. They actually
do with
compared the
that?
photos and everything. He's got great acting chops. what happens is essentially his mum has passed away, and it triggers a lot of anxiety and a lot of fears in him. And for him, it's just a simple journey of trying to get home, but it unleashes into what's called a Kafka-esque kind of adventure where all his nightmares come to life. So he is seeing things amplified 100 times. Some crazy visuals, but also you get to see Joaquin Phoenix play himself at different stages of his life. Beau is Afraid. Expect some weirdness, but it looks amazing as well.
It does look amazing.
Yeah.
20th of April, that's out for those people who are watching the Times.
Beau is Afraid.
A Good Person.
A Good Person. This one's a bit more of a just a good drama piece. Directed by Zach Braff from Scrubs, but he's also directed a few movies himself, one being Garden State from probably about 10 years ago. A good director. His girlfriend at the time, but they've sort of separated past, past all of that. Florence Pugh, he was in a relationship with her for 3 years, and at the sort of last stages of their relationship, she is in this movie playing a lady who essentially gets into a car accident, but her sister-in-law passes away, and it's the repercussions from that. The father-in-law, well, who would you have as a father-in-law in this situation? You got Morgan Freeman as the father-in-law.
Who better?
So this is huge sort of drama between them. But from what I can see, Florence Pugh does carry it through because she's the main character, but Morgan Freeman just doing his amazing self as being like the father who really wants to find answers and try and see like how this whole family can come together in this situation. So A Good Person, that's out on the 20th of April.
Evil Dead Rise Out.
Yes,
out
we've got
on
the
20th of
horror
April.
coming out now. It's not even
Now,
Halloween, but this is the big,
isn't it?
well, it was done
used to
into
be
a
a
game,
game.
but this is a huge trilogy back in the sort of 80s to 90s, and it had a remake back in 2011, I believe, or 2013, sorry. So this is technically the sequel, but it also refers to the older films as well.
Okay.
Evil Dead is huge. Apparently thousands of gallons of fake blood were used in this. The traditional Evil Dead was the start of the whole cabin in the woods kind of movie. But they've taken it out of the cabin in the woods. It's not in the woods anymore. It's actually in an apartment block. Two sisters finally reunite after many years of not seeing each other. And for some weird reason, the mum becomes possessed by the evil demon that occurs throughout all the Evil Dead movies. It's played by Aussie actress Alyssa Sutherland. And my gosh, if the trailer's anything to go by, it's scary as some of the early
Our
screeners.
director said it was
They were going
scary.
to put it straight to HBO, but apparently the screeners, everyone was going, it's so scary. They said, oh, that's good. We're going to put it out in theaters. So this is the theater release for Evil Dead Rise. which is
Perfect
the
movie
20th
for
of
the
April.
school holidays coming
Oh,
up.
yeah, of course. Yeah, the kids will love it.
The kids
They
will
don't
love
know.
it, yes.
Please, but yeah, if you need a good scare, this is a guaranteed good scare. Evil
There you
Dead.
go. Now, this next movie is one that I actually quite love the trailer. 80
This
for
looks
Brady.
cool. There's a newer trailer just out, 27th of April coming out, 80 for Brady. If you're a sports fan, but also if you're a comedy fan,
Yep.
the cast in this, how do they get these ladies together? I mean, 80 for Brady is
Yep.
4 ladies in their 80s
Yep.
decide, look, we're huge fans of Tom Brady, and who isn't? I mean, he's married to Giselle Bundchen, amazing quarterback player, plays for the New England Patriots, and what they do is they decide to go to the Super Bowl to meet him. That's their whole aim in life, to do this. Who are you going to get as these 80-year-olds? Oh, of course, we're going to get Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Sally Field, and Rita Moreno. They all just happen to be Academy Award winners. Rita Moreno is an EGOT. She got like a Grammy as well. I didn't know how she did that.
Amazing.
She was in the original West Side Story.
With Jane Fonda.
Amazing. These 4 women are all
I
teamed
don't
up
know
together.
if they're all 80, but I think they're
Well,
close.
they're all 80. Sally Field was actually 79 when they filmed
you
this.
serious?
So she's
Oh, wow.
technically the spring chicken in
She's
this
the
one.
flying nun.
Yeah, she's amazing. So
Amazing.
all 4 women go on this sort of a
is funny.
road trip journey, but it looks funny, and they're all hilarious in this. 80 for Brady, 27th of April. Yep.
Now, this one here, we've been given a first look at Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
The Dial of Destiny.
This doesn't come out till
He's
June
not dialing
28.
it in. I read for this one, Harrison Ford, he's back as Indy. He was actually doing 40-mile bike rides and running to get back into shape with this.
Amazing.
And Harrison Ford, being the angry guy that he is, to have to do that, amazing. Essentially in this one, he is passing the torch over to Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who is from Fleabag, amazing actress in this.
Really?
So she is actually joining him for the adventure, but obviously she is also putting in the hard yards. They're all running away from everybody, jumping. He's riding horses. He's doing everything in this one again. It's amazing. But of course, you got to have an awesome bad guy. We've got Mad Mikkelsen, the Danish actor, in this, and he's quite menacing. This one, I like the fact that they got him in this one.
I don't think this will be the last, by the way. I think he'll move on. And
Spielberg has said in this one, he said no spoilers or anything, but Indy Jones doesn't die in this one. He won't be dying in this one. So feel safe that he'll probably be back at least for one more adventure, but this is huge.
Now, you're going to have to wait to June 28 unless they release it early. But Indiana Jones.
And the Dial of Destiny.
Looks good.
Yes.
That's
good.
it.
That's him.
Which one of those is your favourite? Have you seen any of those yet? You went and saw Super Mario.
I'm still happy about the Super Mario movie.
How was that?
Great. The kids and I loved it. Jack Black was amazing in it. It was really cool.
Watch.
But for all of these, I have to go with Indy Jones, of course, because I love that whole series. Last Crusade was my favourite film.
Fantastic. Let's have a look at the top 5 movies for this week as well, Paul.
Yes.
Here they are on screen.
Top 5.
As they stand this week.
Number 5 is Scream 6. 4, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Let's go. It's the Super Mario Brothers movie at number 3. Dungeons and Dragons is doing great. Honor Amongst Thieves. And of course, I've seen this. It's an amazing film. John Wick Chapter 4.
Wow.
Some people are watching that film 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they love it.
Because it's insane.
It's one of those sort of movies, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you'd like to go and watch one of those movies and take somebody with you, why not? We're giving you a chance of winning a double pass to the movies thanks to Palace Cinema. They are just amazing luxury here in the city, but you've got them in your state as well. If you've got Palace Cinema or Luna Cinema in your state, then you can take our tickets if you win them and go and watch it in your own state as well. All you have to do to win these amazing passes is this. You need to get on your phone, SMS the code word, which is Palace. It's on your screen right now. The phone number 0439 929 929 is where you need to send it. We need your name and address and the word Palace, and happy entering. And thank you very much to Palace Cinemas, of course, for sponsoring the segment, and thank you for them to giving away the tickets as well. Thank you very much, Paul.
Thanks, Fred.
Well done. We'll see you in a couple of weeks with some streaming stuff
Yes, a
as
lot
well.
of streaming stuff.
We'll take a break. Time to take a break on the couch. Coming up, we're going to talk to a very local author talking about books to do with mental health. Stay tuned. You're watching The Couch right here on C31 and Aurora Foxtel. See you then. Welcome back to The Couch. Our next guest today is a WA author that is doing some great things when it comes to mental health. Her name is Charlotte Kemp, and I welcome you to The Couch, Charlotte. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you've got a brand new book called Mummy Will Be Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Charlotte first, about yourself. How did you become an author? Why did you decide to write books?
So I'm a local Perth resident. I am a mum of 2 boys, and really it was never on my life plan to be an author. If you said to me 5 years ago, Charlotte, you're going to be an author, I would have said, great, but you're full of it.
You're
no
crazy.
way.
You're
Yeah,
not gonna do it.
absolutely.
So what made you change your mind?
So I suffer with really bad anxiety, and I have for a very long time. And I really started to see those traits in my children. I have a 6-year-old Ruben, and my youngest is Henry. He's 3. And my oldest, Ruben, I really started to see those anxiety traits come out. And I really wanted to find a resource for them to really explain my behaviour, because my boys would see me crying on the floor in the kitchen, and it was hard to explain to them what I was going through. When I started looking for resources, there was heaps of kids' feelings books, you know, talking about their feelings, heaps of adult books, obviously for us, but nothing explaining my actions and my feelings to them.
To the kids themselves. Now, I was asking you off air, what age group of kids would these books cover? Is there a variety of ages, or set under 10, under 8? What sort of age group?
So there's no real restrictions. Like, I've had teenagers read this book and been, this is a great book explaining feelings and stuff like that. But I've also had, when I wrote this book, my youngest was 2 and he understood this book as well. So it's really that primary school age, but it's really open.
Now, I'm assuming you've trialled the storyline on the kids.
Yeah.
What did they say? What did they say to you? Did they get it? Did they get the story? I mean, we're looking at some images as well while we're talking of some of the stuff that's in the book, some of the feelings that you discuss in the books. What did the kids say to you when you did the sample group?
They were really open and really positive feedback about it, because it really made them understand why mummy's maybe sitting down and having a break, or why mummy's crying, or...
I'm looking at one there where mummy's sitting in a chair and
Yeah.
your child is behind the door.
Yep. So, it really opens up that conversation, and that was the main purpose about the book as well, to open up the conversation of mental health, because it is such a negative stigma that needs to be broken, and it starts with us really teaching our kids the right way to do it.
Now, would you say it's been very successful? I mean, this is your first book, and I believe there's nothing else like it on the market either. There's nothing out there.
No.
Now, this is showing kids feelings, sharing the kids feelings that it's okay. It's okay not to be okay all the time.
Yeah.
And is this from a mum's point of view? So, if for those people who are watching this interview and saying, "What are my kids going to get out of this?"
Yeah.
What do you say to those parents? Why should they get the book? How will their kids benefit from it?
So it's really beneficial to both parents and children, because it helps mothers really explain what's going on with them in their kids' language, their pictures, all
In
that.
a simple way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for kids, it also explains about their emotions, that, as you said, it's okay not to be okay all the time. And it's all right to get frustrated. It's all right to get angry. It's all right to get upset. It's about how you manage that.
So tell me, when did you get the idea for the different topics in the book? What is it? Working from home? Is it just having the kids? Is it COVID that brought the idea to you? What gave you this idea that it would work?
It was really, as I said, I've suffered with anxiety for a very long time, and it really, I guess, spiked when my youngest Henry was born.
Yep.
So about 3 years ago, and it was just, I would definitely say the pandemic probably kicked it in as well,
3 years
being
ago,
at
yes.
home, isolated. But really, I noticed those anxiety traits in Ruben, and they're avid readers. They read every night. And I really wanted to try and get the message across to them in a way that might be beneficial to them.
And as a parent, it would have helped you in a big way, having the kids
Absolutely.
actually understand why mummy's crying or why mummy's upset. Because run us through maybe 2 or 3 of the themes that we discuss in the book.
Yeah. So really the first theme is about seeing mum crying and seeing mum upset. As you saw in one of those pictures, seeing mum sitting on the couch having time out, but really upset. So it opens up the conversation to see, if you see mum like this, it's okay. But we also talk about their feelings and their emotions, about really trying to teach them again that it's all right not to be okay all the time. It's all right to be angry. It's about how we process that and
I
regulate
guess
it.
you're normalising things that happen
Exactly.
every single day, and you're trying to say to kids, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
This is normal.
Yeah,
Mum's
and-
okay.
And I've really found that opening up that conversation, with my oldest, he even notices now, like when my tone is really low, he asks me, "Mummy, are you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, darling, I'm just thinking," or I might be upset, and I'm open with him. There's no, there is some things we need to shelter from our kids, but our emotions and feelings shouldn't be one of them.
Now, tell me, as quick as you can, I guess, Happiness Stigma Company, this is something that you own.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So the Happiness Stigma Company is really about promoting positive mental health and really, again, breaking that negative stigma. That we've got to open up the conversation and really teach our...
Well, it affects so many people
It
these
affects
days,
1 in
mental
5
health.
Australians will be affected with some form of mental health, illness or issue through their lives. And it's really about opening up that conversation.
And I think it is normalising it. It's saying to
Exactly.
people, it's not something weird, it's not something strange, it's not something scary. It's something that happens to so many people, and we can live with it. And telling kids it's okay. And kids, I guess, if you normalise it and take away the fear, they'll adjust a lot better as well.
Kids are sponges,
Yep.
so they learn off us and they learn off everyone around them. So if we, as you said, normalise it, it will
I
help.
think it's fantastic. Charlotte, you've got a website, and tell us in camera 2 here, what's the address for people to get your book and find out more information?
So it's www.thehappinessStigmaCo.com.au.
Fantastic. Now, you've got a brand new book that you're writing, getting ready.
Yes.
What's that about?
So it's called Superheroes Will Be Okay. So it's from a dad's perspective on feelings, and that will be coming out in July.
We look forward to that, and thank you for coming in today. Now, we've got some of the books to give away, which will give you some details on how you can get yourself a hand on one of these fantastic books. Where else can people get the books from? Are there any in books shops and all that around Australia?
No, so just mainly from our website.
Yep.
The Happiness Stigma Co website, you can just get them directly through me.
Fantastic. And anywhere in Australia they can buy them and you'll post them?
Anywhere internationally as well.
Fantastic. Well done.
Awesome.
Thanks for being on the couch and all the best for the book. And I'll talk to you again, I'm sure, when the new one comes out.
Yes.
And when will that roughly be?
July.
Beautiful.
It's due to come out.
Look forward to seeing you back on the couch. Congratulations
Awesome.
again.
Thank you so much.
That is, of course, Charlotte Kemp, and she's got a great book, and I want you to support her, please. She's local, she's West Australian, and she's doing some great things when it comes to mental health, teaching kids it's okay. Mummy's okay. That's the name of the book. All right, music-wise, Lauren Marsden is okay. She's centre stage today. She's got a great song called Fallen. Here she is. Make her welcome.
I keep on falling and out of love with you. Sometimes I love you, sometimes you make me blue. Sometimes I feel good, at times I feel used. Loving you, darling, makes me so confused. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. I never felt this way. How do you give me so much pleasure and cause me so much pain? Just when I think I've taken more than what a fool, and I start falling back in love with you. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. Oh baby, I'm
Well done, Lauren Marsden, appearing on the couch once again. Wonderful, wonderful performer. She's at WAPA these days. And Lauren, you're performing for us at the end of the show. Thank you. Yes, she is. Just confirmed she's got no choice now that I've said she's coming back. So she's performing another song at the end. Now we're talking about a wonderful charity that's working through Rotary with the support of Rotary, of course, Salvation Army. They're called the Path of Hope Project. We've got Rebecca in. Talking to her is our very own Nisha.
Thank you so much, Fred. It's always exciting having individuals on the couch who are very passionate and intentional about what they're doing. Rebecca Tolstoy, you are the founding chair of the Path of Hope Foundation. Welcome along.
Thank you so much for having me here today, Nisha.
Absolute pleasure. And you've been working in this space, and you'll tell us shortly about the Path of Hope and what you do. But you've been working in this space yourself very passionately for a few decades now.
I have. It was all of you, West Australians, who actually inspired me when me and my family arrived to give back, starting volunteering, and chose family domestic violence because in 2008 not a lot of talking was about it. And so I, in 2011, decided to spend half my life volunteering instead of waiting to give funds, and that's what we've done, and half my time I run my companies.
That's so meaningful. So 50% of your time is donated to the Path of Hope Foundation.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about family domestic violence and why it is so important to increase awareness.
It is, in my opinion, the biggest crime, the biggest hidden crime against humanity of our time. It is because it's in the home, and a lot of countries, crimes are outside of the home, and everything else is domestic. It's behind the scenes, and nobody should go in there. So there's a lot that isn't reported in many countries. Australia has been amazing because over the last decade they really have put it on the agenda, and they're not stopping. So I think Australia will do very well in this space, and we will have a very healthy country when we break that intergenerational cycle of family violence.
Yeah, and we've seen legislative changes in this space, right? So
Yep.
family domestic awareness training going into organisations, domestic leave as well, so you can take leave and carers leave in larger allotments, which is amazing.
Yep.
The Path of Hope project or foundation works
Yep.
with a lot of partners, right? So both
Yes.
the Rotary and the Salvation Army.
Yes.
Talk to us about what leverage and what benefit that is giving you. This is exciting,
Yeah,
right?
it is very exciting because really it was me and a friend who started volunteering with the Salvation Army, and they are so amazing with what they do, and I thought we need to find money for them and give them money so they can do all this great work. But then I got invited to Rotary in 2011. And looked around the table and looked at all these amazing people. I thought, why am I pedaling out here on my own? Because my friend went on to have more babies. And so they said yes to have the project between Rotary and supporting the Salvation Army. So we mentor young students in law, accounting, marketing, to assure that they actually learn about their profession as well as volunteering their time.
So there's a real reciprocal nature to the work. So you've got empowering young professionals, creating a sustainable framework, but also tell us about the refuges and what you've kind of noticed being a part of that world.
Yeah. So I had the opportunity to volunteer at the refuge for 10 years. I was there, and it's really important when you have the women at the table, the survivors, as well as the people working in this space, and then bringing in business people. So together we will brainstorm and making sure that the women and children are at the centre and the people who work, and that we together come up with solutions together.
Fantastic. And you've got a gala coming up, which is another opportunity to really increase awareness.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Well, I'll tell you about this gala. This is going to be the 8th year we're having it, and it is all thanks to Hancock Prospecting and Roy Hill being the major sponsors.
And I went last year. It was amazing. Really well done.
Thank you. So, because we have, as you noticed, we have no fundraising at all on the night.
Yes.
364 days of the year we raise awareness, we raise funds, and we do the work, but one night a year we celebrate, and nobody knows who the survivors are, everybody just comes together and we celebrate that there is hope and a life after family violence.
That is so beautiful, and it's a real reciprocal system. I keep saying that, but that's part of the social capital, which I'm sure is under your model, if you like.
Yes.
And you're actually a tax accountant, right, from Sweden, so this is really interesting.
Well, it is. It actually makes
You don't look
sense.
like a tax accountant right now. You look
What it
gorgeous.
is. Thank you. But the thing is, if you actually take young people today, they understand that their time is valuable. You don't have to explain that. They're really in this. And so instead of them waiting until they're at the end of their career, if they give a couple of hours a month, that makes a huge contribution in our community as well as to themselves.
Yes, and I love off-air you mentioned that you treat young people the same as you would treat people who are providing you with, large sponsorships. So I think that's a beautiful thing because you're really investing, and we need mentors like that, right? You're really investing in your young people.
Well, we have to, because Path of Hope is about respect. So we have to lead with respect. So when any volunteer comes, young or mature, we make sure that they have thought about if their time, if they can commit, because the women and children have been let down a lot.
Yes.
So it's very organised, like a tax accountant. Everybody has timesheets and everything, because so we're accountable for what we do, but that comes a lot of pride out of that as well.
It's amazing. Well, Rebecca, could talk to you for much longer, and I'm sure we'll get you to come back on the couch again.
Thank you.
I'll definitely come to the event again this year. Looking forward
Beautiful.
to it. Well done for all the work you do. Are there any sort of partners or sponsors perhaps that you want to thank before we do a bit of a call to action about the gala?
Yeah, I would love to thank Hancock Prospecting and Roy Hill, who are our major sponsors since inception, who actually make sure that we can have the gala every year, and to all of our guests. And we would love our community to join us this year on the 20th of May. So if you go to pathofhope.org.au, you can find the tickets there.
And of course today we're talking about sensitive material as well, so important people can reach out if they need support.
Yep.
Where would you recommend they reach out to?
I would recommend that people reach out to 1-800-RESPECT, but if it is an emergency, it's always 000. The police is your first, and they will care for you, and they will also be able to provide refuges and other services. But 1-800-RESPECT is a fantastic anywhere in Australia.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for
Thank you.
joining us. And if you do need assistance out there, please reach out. We'll certainly have some information on our website as well, thecouch.com.au, or our Facebook page. Good luck. You're doing great
Thank you.
work, and we'll see you probably in the next few months, I'm sure, on the couch again.
Beautiful. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you to Rebecca as well. Path of Hope Project, what a wonderful organisation. Please support them if you can get involved. Go to the gala event. Hopefully we'll have ABBA there this year because, of course, Rebecca will use her Swedish connections. If not, I'll be performing at the show this year as ABBA. But look, fantastic work, Path of Hope Project. Thank you, Nisha. We'll take a break. More of The Couch coming up, and please support these fantastic charities that support us here on The Couch. Welcome back to The Couch. It's always a pleasure when we have old friends in the studio, and I'm not talking about Nisha. I'm talking about our next guest that's with Nisha centre stage. She is, of course, Chef Armanda de Luz, and she's from a cafe that she's opened in Perth called Cafe Pastel. And I'm a little bit busy, Nisha, because I'm indulging in some of these tarts. But over to you now. Tell us more.
Thanks so much, Fred. Another exciting, fresh and local episode, and we have lovely Armanda joining us. It's been about 3 years.
I know. Yes.
What have you been doing for 3 years?
Working.
You've missed us.
Yeah, it's all about food. When you do food, pandemic does not get us in trouble because everyone wants to eat, so that's good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you are very specialised in what you do.
Yes.
But Cafe Pastel, which is now
Yes.
in Northbridge.
In Northbridge.
Tell us a bit about, and I'm getting distracted because I can just smell these
Yeah.
beautiful Portuguese tarts.
We have 12 different flavors. So we have the traditional. They're all made as traditional, but we add some other flavors to it just to make a little bit more exciting, including the pandan, which was to celebrate Chinese New Year. So the base is a coconut base, but the same process of making the other tarts. We have a beautiful lemon myrtle just to celebrate Australia.
I'll get you to point at some of these so I can make sure. I think we can tell the
So
lemon
lemon
ones.
myrtle.
Lemon myrtle?
Yeah, that is a banoffee, which is fresh banana and biscoff inside.
Oh, yum.
And this is dark salted chocolate, white chocolate and strawberries, which was introduced for Valentine's Day.
Oh, lovely.
So that's it, yes.
That's beautiful.
And that's fresh fig, because I've got a beautiful big tree with a lot of figs. Wasted is not my cup of tea. I was born in the jungle, so we don't waste anything. But everything is done super fresh.
Yeah.
So figs finished this month, this week, so it's just about going. But
And do you take do customers come in and say, I love figs, can you make a Portuguese tart with a fig on it? How do you get your ideas?
Well, being a qualified chef by trade, so we always try to use the ingredients we have available,
The seasonal,
and
yes,
and then we use it. Like winter is coming, so we're going to have an apple and rhubarb coming back to the table again.
Beautiful.
Even if rhubarb is a English thing, well, this is Australia, so we just introduce. But as you can see, we make them fresh. The pastry is made by me. The custard is made by me. And every time I have an idea, I'll stay home for hours trying, testing, seeing if things work, and then we go for it.
Well, you're a very interesting lady. You're brought up in the jungle, you mentioned. You're a qualified chef. We have all the ready-made ones here, but let's start to maybe put together so the audience can see how these amazing tarts come together.
After we make the puff pastry, it's a big sheet, so then you have to roll into a cylinder, which is a cylinder like this, and then we cut it in pieces like this, and we put in a ramekin. So then we turn around, and as you can see the layers of
it
the
looks like
puff
a tree
pastry.
trunk, you know?
Yes. So you dip your finger in water, and then you just roll around.
Can I have a go too?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, let's see. This is not going to be...
And the secret is to get the pastry to level with the dish, and there it is.
Oh, okay.
Not as easy as it
No,
looks.
it's not. And how many of these do you make a day?
Well, we make a good 500 to 600 a day.
I'd have to get there at 10:30 in the evening before the day?
Yeah, before it's finished. So secret is 2 thumbs in, press on the side so you have the sides.
Okay.
So, and there it goes. And then you just keep on pressing. You don't need 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And that is done.
How do you think mine looks?
Oh, that's terrible. That will not pass. With all honesty.
We're going to edit that bit out.
So, but it's fixable. So wet it again and press the bottom, the sides
We had Path
of it.
of Hope on earlier.
Well,
this is I Have Hope for
so
this
you do this, and by doing this, so you see you're lifting
Okay.
again.
So I see what you want there. You want the crust. You really want a thick,
yes, you want that, because what we do, so after we've done this, they go in the freezer to rest for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Simply because puff pastry rises up better when it's cold.
That's
and
a good
then
tip,
when
good
it's
tip.
done, so we fill them up. So this is the pan then. So to this level.
Ooh, okay.
Any higher, it's no good. So
Am
any
I
higher.
still allowed to assist?
Yes,
Even though I
you
was
are. So you see that, and then we put on a tray. It goes in the oven on 260. Yeah.
Can
that
I put
on that one?
Can I put a mixture of these two, or they won't taste?
Oh, you could, but God knows what color would that look. But give it a go. Yeah, that will be enough.
Okay.
So you can add the other one.
Here we go. I'm
Something
getting
for me to
creative.
try at the shop.
Yeah. This is
And everyone's gonna
This is
go,
like
"Oh."
paint pouring. As a psychologist,
That's
this is actually really good for you. Anxiety reduction is paint pouring. It's to be like food
That's it.
pouring. Look, that doesn't look
That's
too bad.
not too bad.
Looks like. What do you reckon that looks like? What could we call that?
Well, God knows, but whatever it is, because they literally taste very good on their own. Maybe together will be a
quite
thing.
cute, yeah.
I'll bake some, take a picture, and then send it to you and go, this is
That's
what you
baby. See, mixture of these two. Looks like a mouth.
But that is already it's quite high. So if we put this in the oven, it's just gonna, because it's
Okay,
got
so
the
it's-
egg yolks bubbles a bit, and then it drops. So that will be overflowing. So this will be for the staff to try, because sometimes they make mistakes on purpose, so they can have a special bite before.
So tell us a
Lovely.
bit about your store. When's
Yes.
it open? So if I was in Northbridge, where do I go and?
Well, it's just on William Street. I always said to people, just closer to Kakula's, 5 shops up, there we are, on the corner of William and James.
Okay.
Come along, say hi. We opened when the pandemic started.
Oh, that would have been tough.
Yes.
Hey, Fred.
Because
Hello there.
Are you here to look at my great talent?
Armando, do not try anything she's made.
Hey, I'm a good cook.
And you know when you suggested it stays in the freezer for 5 minutes?
Yes.
Yes, so should Nisha.
in the freezer for 5 minutes.
Can I
I'll
just
still be
say,
talking in the freezer.
how beautiful do these tarts look?
Gorgeous.
Where is your shop?
It's just in Northbridge, on the corner of William and James.
Yep.
It's called
Oh, that's
Café
next to where you
Pastel.
are.
It's called Café Pastel, and we do coffee and tarts.
Yep.
The thing is, we don't just have the traditional, we have all the other flavors that go with that.
How
and we
beautiful
take,
is it?
if someone says, oh, I really love that, I can go home and try, and doesn't mean you're going to get it, because if it doesn't taste good, it doesn't cut
So
it.
if someone's having a big party
Yes.
and want to order 50 of them,
That's it.
pre-order, pre-book, you cater for people?
Yes, we do. We're literally making hundreds a day for some other places which they wanted.
You just
so
wanna eat everything.
you just call and says
Yep.
the day before, anything over 50 we want to be told the day
Beautiful.
before. Not because we can't do it,
Yep.
but if you come into the shop and you want 50, we've got them available.
And what
Yes.
time is your cafe open?
We open at 8 to
8 o'clock
5,
to 5 o'clock.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday we close at 10.
And Nisha and I are very available if you need us to try any
Taste
new
testing.
flavours.
I'm wondering what
Please,
this is.
please.
Is this edible straight away?
This is, you can call it egg candy. It's egg yolks cooked in sugar water. Have a bite. It's
I'll
just
open that up.
delicious. They're very
look
crunchy.
Look at this. I'm going to try one.
That's the sound. Beautiful. This is delicious. Yeah.
Yum, that's
Yeah,
amazing. So
it's
did you put
very
that
good.
on top?
Yes,
Just
that
quickly.
goes on top of the
Oh, that is
pandan.
beautiful.
Okay, gosh, I could talk to you all day. You're such a lovely lady. But just where do people find out more if they are looking for you?
You've got a Facebook
Just
page.
put Portuguese Tarts Northbridge. We come up straight away.
And there is an
Optimised,
official
yes.
Facebook page as well, which we've got on screen right now.
Beautiful.
Go to her Facebook page or go to the Google page and put in Portuguese tarts. There's only one person that does it here in
That's
Perth.
it in Perth. That's us.
Amanda Deleuze, thank you very much.
You're
We're
more than
hoping to have
welcome.
Amanda back every month on the show. I hope
Yeah.
she comes back after working with Nisha.
Beautiful.
On one
Definitely.
episode.
Entertaining.
Thank you. The tarts are wonderful. Go and try
you.
them yourself.
Perfect.
8 o'clock, Monday to Friday.
So we're going to
That's
just
it.
Beautiful. We'll take a break.
Look
Back
how
with more of the couch
beautiful
after this.
it is. Oh,
Thank
yum,
you,
yum,
Amanda.
yum, yum,
Tastes
yum.
amazing.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Welcome back to the couch. Always nice to have this next guest in the studio. She is half of the team from the Classic Breakfast on Perth's 1080 AM 6IX, 1057 FM 6IX. Classic Breakfast. Nat Foster is with me.
Hello. And we stream online, which is the
you
best
do,
way
on
to
digital
listen to it.
DAB radio as well, which is the best sound ever.
It is. It's a lot easier than trying to get it on AM or FM.
Now, Rob McCaskill's the other half, but he
Yes.
can't be with us today because he's doing another job today.
Yeah.
He's very busy. But he sent you along to
He
represent
did. He
him.
said, go on, Dale, you do it.
Now,
You're not busy enough. You go and talk to Fred.
do you remember when we started in radio? We
Yes.
were working for the Association for the Blind,
the
had a radio,
blind,
and it
yeah.
was information radio.
we gave them a lot of information,
and
didn't
then
we?
they fired us, which was quite interesting. But it was a great time.
Yeah.
When I remember when I met you, we were doing it as a hobby. Did
Yeah.
you ever think 20 years down the track, I am covering your age here, 20 years down the track and mine, I would be in radio, you'd be in radio?
Well, because as you know, I was in radio before I got back into 6IX. So, as I was growing up, I wanted to be an actress because I was already fabulous. So I wanted to be an actress and I wanted to be famous. That was my big thing in life.
So was it famous that you wanted to be more than anything else?
No, I think I like talking and I like making people laugh. If I can make one person laugh,
What makes you unique? When you say your humour,
Yeah.
because I've known you for years and I know you've been on, and we'll talk about the different radio stuff you've done, but what makes you different? Why do you think you're different to what's on radio? Why do people need to hear Nat Foster?
I think because I am at that age in life where I don't really care what people think. So when I sort of first started in radio, I was kind of like, I was the giggler. You know, I'd have stories of my own, but I was kind of the chick that laughed.
What makes you laugh? What sort of stuff do you like?
What
Do you like
makes me
seeing
laugh?
people fall over? Do you like seeing people being stupid? What makes you laugh?
I like natural things. I like quick-witted stuff. I like things you have to think about. So one of my favourites is Schitt's Creek,
Yep.
which is a Canadian comedy. Fantastic.
Okay.
Also, I mean, even the Seinfeld stuff and Friends. But anyone that tells stories as well. So, you know, and you can be there and you can actually live it. Like Kitty Flanagan does it really
She's
well.
amazing.
Julie Morris does it really well. There's some really good Irish people as well. There's an Irish lady I follow who is absolutely hilarious.
Now, people would note your accent.
Yep.
And people would say, what's a great Australian accent? Where's it from?
New Zealand.
Forever classic, Nat and
Full of
Rob.
lies.
Yeah.
No, I'm English originally.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
So, but-
Farnborough, Hampshire.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been over here most of your life, haven't you?
Yeah, I came over when I was 11.
Now, let's run through a chronology of dates. You were at Information Radio with me from a couple
Many
of
years ago, until we got
dismissed.
fired. Yep.
No, we got a better job.
You can't. Do you know what? You can't get fired when you're not getting paid anyway. Can
No,
you,
but
really?
they did. They made sure they fired us. The story, I got a phone call because Nat said something about our manager back then. And I got a call saying, I heard that woman say this about me. And it wasn't anything bad, but she took offence and she said...
I think I was just trying to be funny.
And the question was, you either get rid of her or you both go. And I said, OK, see ya. And we both left.
Yeah.
And that was the
So
story.
you
But
had my back then.
I did. You were quite
Many
a
years ago.
bigger person back then, obviously, and your back was everywhere. But can I just say...
Wow.
But it wasn't as hairy, and it's a lot better these days.
No, well, I wax now.
It is,
Yeah, I do a whole body wax. I
Yes.
just dip myself in wax and then I get somebody to pull it all off. It's one of our competitions we run on the Classic Breakfast.
Yes, we're talking about that. You went to Mix 94.5.
I did. I went to Mix.
You were
Well,
on
I
the
went to
couch.
Coast FM
Coast
first.
FM, that's right. That's where...
Great little station down in Mandurah. That was this first station I actually got out of the Academy of Radio.
Yep.
So started doing breakfast on my own. So I was commuting from Balcatta down to Mandurah. And then I met Steve Mummery, who was the program director at 94.5. And I just went up to him and I said, hey, I want to work at your station. And it was at a Foxtel launch.
Yes.
And he gave me an interview on the spot.
And you got the job?
And I got the job, but it was just music shifts to begin with. So he said, in fact, go with Ian Blackley. I want you to sit in with Blackers this afternoon and I want you on air tonight.
And you gave up radio after that?
No, Blackers taught me very well.
Okay.
So, you know, how to press all the buttons and stuff. And I think there was only once over that mid to dawn shift that I actually said Coast FM.
Wow.
So, and then after that started doing music shifts and then we started a little gig called The Saturday Show. And then The Saturday Show with the boys then morphed into
the afternoon,
the Couch Show.
the couch. Now, we're talking about the Classic Breakfast because that's where you are now on 1080 AM, 1057 FM on the FM, but you can listen to it on DAB or stream it as well.
Definitely stream it, yep.
6IX is a wonderful station. There's many in the network, Capital Radio Network.
Yep.
You've been there, what, 6 months?
About 7.
7 months?
7 months, yeah.
Tell me the ingredients of your brekkie show. I know Rob McCaskill's your co-host.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of fun.
So Rob is like my brother, because I've got a brother, but this is and not to say I don't love my brother, but he's like my brother. He's or like my best friend. He is one of the most annoying people I've ever met, but I love him to bits. And there are times when he just pushes my buttons, but the relationship we've got is genuine, and that was from the get-go. So when I got a phone call from the PD at 6IX and he said, listen, do you want to get back into radio? And I'm like, you know, I'm doing very little work for a lot of money. It's, you know, because I'd left the RSPCA and I was a rep for
That's right. You were an inspector for a long time too.
I was an inspector for many years at the RSPCA. So when he asked me, and I'm like, he said, come and just do the demo. Meet Rob, do the demo. As soon as I did the demo with Rob on a Saturday morning, as soon as I met him, he gave me a hug and I'm like, right. And then he started talking about his greyhound and I'm like, we are going to get on fine. And since then, it's like he's my best mate.
What's the magic ingredient that you both
I think
bring
that
to the show?
relationship. I think that relationship.
It's important.
It's a genuine relationship. So when the mics get turned off, we are still talking. And we are still laughing. So there are times when the mics go back on and we're still having a conversation and I'm laughing. I'm in the middle of it laughing because he said something. He is incredibly funny. So, but it's just those little one-liners. So with me, I will tell life stories and people say to me that what happened to you and you talking about Chris, that was just made up.
Yep.
No, everything that you hear come out of my mouth has actually happened. So it's I don't know, I've always been able to do it. I tell a story.
Yep.
And people.
Well, you talk
generally-
about your pets, you talk about your partner, you talk about your family, your mum being that unpaid producer.
She's the volunteer producer.
That's right.
Did I tell you we actually? So for Christmas we made her a little lanyard with 6IX. Had the picture of Rob and I, the classic breakfast. Volunteer producer. We signed it and laminated it and put it on a ribbon. So now she goes to the previews, the movie previews. Now she doesn't queue up in line.
Oh, no.
She just walks straight to the hello, I'm the volunteer producer, hello. And I'm like, Mum, we just gave you that for fun. But no, she uses it.
Well, what a talent.
She uses
What's your
it.
mum's phone number?
It's
Can I just say, some feedback that I've got from a few people that I know in radio is that the reason they love listening to you is that you're funny. They said to me, it's just old-fashioned radio. It's when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to always hear hard news, hard depression. And what they said to me is, I turn it on and they just make me laugh. It's just simple stuff, common everyday stuff that makes people real radio. And I guess it works for you.
That's nice.
When can we hear you? When can people switch you on?
Monday to Friday. Or you can turn me on any time, but switch me on Monday to Friday, 5:30 till 10. And then there's a reheated show
On the
on a
weekend.
Sunday morning.
Fantastic. Are you loving getting back in radio?
Look, I'll be honest, I hate getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It is hard.
But when I know I'm working, who I'm working with, it'd be like I was working with you, Fred. But Rob is an absolute delight.
Well, maybe
He's-
people have said to me, how
Have a
would you
threesome.
describe yourself? Well, we could have a threesome, yes, but
need to be a bigger studio.
I think so.
probably.
It may have to be done in
Yeah.
this studio. But I tell you what, people have said, how would you describe yourself, Fred? Are you very similar to Rob? Because Nat always compares you to Rob. I said, I am. I'm just the better looking one.
You're lucky that Rob's not here.
I know.
Because he is a little stud
We-
muffin.
we have
He's
to
a
get
big
him back.
unit too. He would take up the couch. He's
Look,
a
he's
very tall
such
man.
a warm-hearted person.
Yeah,
I
he
mean, I
is.
can see the blend between the two of you. There's an ingredient there that works. It's an incredibly fantastic close knit family that you two have. You cover on this day. You cover. There's a quiz that you do every day.
Yeah, the pressure test.
The pressure test.
Yep.
You do that. You also play a lot of music. Which is
the music is great.
Classic hits.
70s, 80s, 90s, occasionally some 60s as well. Like, they're bangers. Like, as you know, I love a bit of Cher. If I could turn back time. So he knows when
I do singing lessons.
He knows
Yeah.
that I will be... I actually sing to a lot of the songs.
No, you are wonderful. Look, it is always a
Thank you.
pleasure.
What a lovely thing to say.
Do you know, it's really nice to see you back where you belong. I
love it.
I think the RSPCA was a wonderful organisation, still are.
Yep.
But I think
what was it, 13 years,
you
12
did.
years?
You were there doing
Yep.
adoptions,
Did my
and you're an inspector, and you've done everything there. And I think you've moved back into radio, which is great because all of you around Australia can listen in, not just Perth. Why should we only suffer this program? You can suffer it all around the world by.
How very rude, sir.
You can go to www.6ix.com.au and listen to this lady every morning with her co-partner, which is, of course, Rob. It is the classic breakfast with Rob and Nat and Fred. And look, congratulations.
Thank you,
Well
mate.
done. It is always a pleasure to have you here. Have I forgotten anything? Anyone you need to thank? The Academy, your mum?
Oh, look, I think it just gives a go. Like, the problem for us is letting people know that we are out there.
Exactly.
Because there's, obviously, we're not one of the big stations where we can spend a lot of money on promotion. So it's actually, once people start listening, they'll go, oh, yeah, they're okay. They don't annoy me too much.
Now-
And it's genuine stuff. Just give you a laugh in the morning because
I think-
life is very serious.
Who's your favourite artist, music artist?
Pink.
Pink. Do you play a lot of Pink?
No.
Oh, well, there you go.
But that's okay because I like Cher, Tina Turner. There's a lot, like the music is absolutely humming in the morning, and I genuinely do sing along to a lot of them. But I've met Pink,
I know you have.
and I've interviewed Pink,
I know you have.
and I love her.
On Mix. Well done. Well, this is Nat Foster, and if you can't listen to 6PR on my show, what better? The 6IX Classic Breakfast. It's on after I'm finished.
There you
That's
go.
the time.
Perfect.
So,
set your thingy, your speaker thing,
Yep.
your little googly thing, from you straight into the Classic Breakfast 6IX.
please make a choice for breakfast. Listen to Rob and Nat 6IX DAB Radio. 6ix.com.au. Abby's telling me, Fred, the show is over. You've got to throw to our wonderful Lauren Marsden, and she's got a great song, Shallow. No, I'm not.
Now see, I love Lady Gaga as well.
And Bradley Cooper.
Oh, love it. If
That
she
is
can do
it.
justice to that.
Well, here she is, Lauren Marsden. Thank you very much. Natalie Foster, the Classic Breakfast, 6IX. do yourself a favour, as Molly would say, and tune in, listen in and support them. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. And in the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I feel myself. Tell me something, boy. Find it hard to try and feel that, boy. Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling, and in the bad times I feel myself longing for change, and in the good times I find myself. Oh, I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground, crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now, in the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now. Whoa, 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 oh, I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. Oh, I'll never meet the ground, crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now, in the shallow, in the shallow.